Hi, I am Suresh Babu from Hindustan College, Coimbatore. Today we can see some basics of digital system design. And from the basics, we have some basic fundamentals. In order to know these digital system design, we should know these basic fundamentals, right? Uh, First thing is the number system. First one is the number system, and next is the basic gates, and third is SOP and POS, and then last is Boolean algebra and basic classes. These are all the fundamentals that we are going to learn today. First is the number system. First of all, number system is simply a system to express the numbers. That is called as a number system. And nowadays, frequently we are using a decimal number system in our day-to-day life. That is from the day-to-day life, we are using this decimal number system. And then next we have a hexadecimal number system, and then octal number system, and last is the binary number system. And in binary number system, the numbers, since the name suggested as binary, we have two numbers, two possible numbers. One is a 0 and another one is 1. Similarly, for octal number system, we have 8 numbers, starts from 0 to 7. Similarly, for a hexadecimal number system, we have 16 numbers, starts from 0 to 15. And for decimal number system, we have 10 numbers, 0 to 9. And all number system is the combination of these numbers. For example, for representing a binary number, we can represent with the help of either a 0 or 1, or the combination of these zeros and ones. Similarly, for an octal number system, the same procedure as we follows in a binary number system. And next we have basic gates. For designing the digital system, we can construct by the help of these basic gates. Here we have three gates. One is an AND gate, OR gate, and a NOT gate. These are all the three basic gates. These are all the very important gates to learn. Actually, for designing a complex logic circuit, we need these logics to be implemented, right? And you can see here, first is the AND gate. Here I have given the symbols and function along with truth table for each and every gate. First is the AND gate. You can see there, here I have written a two input or a uh, two input function. Actually, here I have given a two input AND gate. Similarly, a two input OR gate, and a two input NAND gate, and a two input NOR gate. You can see here, we have a NOT gate. This NOT gate is something different from all other gates. NOT, we call it as an inverter. Inverter means if you give a 0 as an input, then you will get a 1 as an output. That is the meaning of the inverter. That is the inverting logic, inverting function, right? And you can see there we have a function. There is algebraic function is there in second column. We have a algebraic function. For an AND gate, we can do multiplication logic. Multiplication logic is performed in AND gate operation. And since we have a two input as the input, two input at the input side, you will get the product of two input at the output side. There is a symbolically we can represent f as f is equal to a into b, right? And in the last column, you have a truth table. In the truth table, you can see there we have four different possible combinations, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1, right? Since we have a two input at the input side, we can perform four different combinations. This is a simple logic. Actually, since we have two inputs, we have four different possible combinations. The idea is 2 to the power n combinations, where n represents the number of inputs. Since here we have 2 input as n, we can represent it as 2 power 2, that is equal to 4. That 4 represents number of possible combinations. Similarly, if you go for 3 input possible combinations, then sorry, 3 input at the input side, you have 8 different possible combinations. That is 2 to the power 3, that is equal to 8. Totally, we have 8 different possible combinations, starts from 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, right? And then next is OR gate. OR gate will perform addition operation. Here we have a algebraic function, that is f is equal to a plus b. Similarly, for a truth table of OR gate, we have 0 plus 0 as 0, 0 plus 1 as 1, 1 plus 0 as 1, and 1 plus 1 equal to 1, right? And then as we said earlier, NOT is an operation, that is a inverting function. If you force the input at a as 0, you will get the output as 1. Similarly, if the input at a is 1, you will get an output as 0, right? This is the inverting logic. And next is NAND gate. You can see there, NAND gate is similarly more or less similar to AND gate. You can see even the symbol is also same as that of AND gate. And the only difference is that in the output side, you have to include a NOT gate. In case of NAND gate, in the output side, you have to include a NOT gate, right? So that you can see the difference between the symbol of AND and NAND gate. In the AND gate, you have a normal symbol, but in the case of NAND gate, you have a bubbled output logic, right? That bubbled logic represents the NOT function, right? And similarly, the function is also same, not same. It has a slight difference. That is, for the function of AND gate, you have f is equal to a into b, but in the case of NAND gate function, you have f is equal to ab the whole bar. That whole bar represents the NOT logic. That is, the NOT of ab is ab the whole bar, right? You can see the difference in truth table between AND and NAND function. For AND gate, see the truth table, you can look over there. For AND gate, the truth table is 0, 0, the output is 0. Similarly, in the case of NAND gate, if the input is 0, 0, the output is 1, right? Similarly, the inverting logic of OR is NOR, right? You can see the difference between OR and NOR logic. For OR, you have f is equal to a plus b. For NOR, you have the function as a plus b the whole bar, right? And also you can compare the truth table of OR with NOR. That is exactly opposite to that of OR gate, right? Clear? And next one is SOP. Here SOP means a sum of product. The method, that is SOP method, is for simplifying the Boolean expression of logic. Actually, the need for simplification is to uh, reduce the number of components. Suppose if I need to design a complex logic, right? I need more number of inputs, or I need sorry, not inputs exactly. I need more number of variables to implement the complex logic. If more number of variables is present at the logic, then the complexity will be more. In order to reduce the complexity, we are going for these such methods to simplify the logic. In order to simplify the logic, you can even able to achieve the simplified expression. Similarly, everything will be complicated, everything will be simplified, not complication. The complication will be reduced, right? Second is the sum of product. You can see there, the sum of product form can be formed by adding two or more product terms, right? Here you can underline that, see there, it can be formed by adding two or more product terms. First of all, in order to form a sum of product, you need a product term, right? See the example, you can see there. In that example, we have a product term AB and another product term ABC, and one more product term is there, that is CDE, right? We are adding these three product term to form a sum of product. This is the idea behind the sum of product, right? Here we are adding these product terms. That is the idea behind sum of product, right? And next is product of sum. This product of sum is exactly opposite to that of sum of product. Here you can see here, when two or more sum terms are multiplied by a Boolean operation OR, that is there in case of SOP, we have summed the product terms, but here in case of POS, we are multiplying the sum term. Look the example there. We have an example a plus b. into a plus b plus c into c plus d, right? Here we have a sum term, not a sum term. We have a three different sum term. One is a plus b, another one is a plus b plus c, and third is c plus d, right? We have three different sum terms, and then finally we are multiplying the sum term to form the POS, right? This is the basic difference between the SOP and POS. And actually we are performing this SOP and POS for simplifying the expression. The simplification is needed in order to reduce the complexity. Ultimately we need to reduce the complexity of the circuit. We need a simplified expression in order to reduce the complexity of the circuit. That is the exact reason for that, right? And then next is Boolean algebra and basic laws, right? And then the thing is algebra. Here we have a different name called as Boolean algebra. This is a switching algebra. This is a special case of normal algebra, right? The use of switching devices like transistors give rise to special case of Boolean algebra. This is a part of algebra, right? And then here we are assuming the variable as 0 and 1. Since we are dealing with digital logic, we need to include these binary inputs. Binary inputs means we have to play with these zeros and ones in the digital logic, since we deals with the binary, right? And here we have some of the laws associated with this Boolean algebra. We can see here this part, that is this Boolean algebra and laws is also to reduce the expression. That is see that it is to reduce and simplify the complex Boolean expression. Ultimately here also it did the same process as that of SOP and POS. The ultimate reason for this Boolean algebra and laws is to reduce and simplify the expression, right? By reducing and simplifying the expression, we can ultimately reduce the number of gates. By reducing the number of gates, the total number of gates present at the complex design will be reduced, right? And then see here we have a law that is commutative law. The commutative law allows to change in the position for addition and multiplication. Simply you can change the position of addition and multiplication to perform this commutative law. And next one is associative law. This is allowed by removing the brackets for addition and multiplication, same as that of normal algebra. In normal algebra we have these laws associated with that normal algebra, right? And next is distributive law. This allowing the factor of an expression as same as that of ordinary algebra, right? Everything is same. In terms of Boolean algebra, the laws associated will perform the same function as in case of normal algebra, but the difference is there. Here we have included the binary operation. That is we are performing the function with the help of two numbers, only two numbers. One is 0 and another one is 1. And next is absorption law. This law enables a reduction in complicated expression to a simpler one by absorbing the like terms. For example, if you have an expression a plus a b plus b, right? That in that function, if you have the same numbers or in same inputs, one is a and another one is a b, then you can absorb the term. That is it can be converted into a single term. That is the main reason for this absorption law. And here you have some Boolean expressions and description along with the rules, right? First is a plus 1, that is equal to 1. This is the first law. This is called as a annulment, right? Annulment. A plus 1 equal to 1, right? A plus 0 equal to a, whatever may be the term, whatever may be the term which is associated with a, you will perform the function as 1. If a 1 is one is added or multiplied with some variable a plus 1 equal to 1, that represents whatever may be the term, whether the a may be a 0 or 1, the output function will be 1. Similarly, a plus 0 is 0, that is whatever may be the case. If you add any numbers with 0, then automatically that number will come at the output side, right? And third one, that is a plus a into 1 equal to 1. Here this is the identity operation. Identity is a function that or a number that is a 1 along with a variable a, then you will get that variable at the output. This is the identity operation. And next is the annulment. That is a into 0 equal to 0. The same number will come at the output side. A into 0 equal to 0. And next is a plus a equal to a. And similarly a into a equal to a. right? And then not of A equal to A, that we have done in not operation. Not will perform the inverse operation. If the input is 0, then output is 1, right? You are performing not operation and then you are performing an A bar, then automatically the output will be A, right? And next is A plus A bar equal to 1. This is called as complement operation. And next another one complement is there, that is multiplication. For multiplication we have another complement, that is A into A bar equal to 0. And then next we have a commutative law, A plus B equal to B plus A. As we said earlier, commutative, see here, this commutative law allows the change in position for addition and multiplication. Similarly, here we have changed the position of addition and multiplication. See that in commutative law, A plus B equal to B plus A, and then we have changed the position of plus as multiplication operation. A into B is equal to B into A, right? And next is the important one, that is called as De Morgan's theorem. A plus B the whole bar equal to A bar into B bar. And last is another theorem, theorem 2 in De Morgan's law, that is A into B the whole bar equal to A bar plus B bar, right? Thank you.